Hi, gun people. So here's the body cam footage. It sheds some light. I still think this is a justified shooting. It's going to be a lawful shooting. Do I think he should have shot? Probably not. I think the cop was programmed that if a guy gets your taser, you shoot him. Don't screw around. All cops are told that. If a guy gets your taser baton, don't screw around, shoot them. If they use it on you and incapacitate you, they will take their gun and kill you. Deadly force is authorized. There's no requirement that you use less than deadly force if it's authorized. Let me say that again because I know people will be offended. The Supreme Court has ruled there is no reason to use less than deadly force once deadly force is authorized. If you pull a gun on me and point it at me, there's no requirement for me to try and talk to you, pull a taser, try my baton, see if I can throw my baton like TJ Hooker and knock your knees out. None of that is required. If you do something that enables a police officer to say deadly force is authorized, they can and will shoot you, and there's no requirement for them to do less. This is going to be this guy's defense. I don't think they're charging this guy. This investigation is going to be cut and dry. The community ain't going to be happy. If they charge him with anything, it'll be BS. But you know what? In this day and age, if you shoot a black guy, you better be black or you'll get charged. I mean, if you're Mexican, you may not get charged too much. But I don't even know if one of these guys are Mexican or white. I mean, to me, it doesn't matter. It's the facts. It's not colors. But let's take a look at this. And by the way, this video leak police. Man, he did a good job. Make sure and subscribe and like his video, man. He did a really good job. It's an hour and 40-minute video. He's got everything. I'm not going to go through all the video, but he's got the full body cam footage from the shooting. He's got other angles. He brings it up. So give him a like and subscribe, man, for putting all that work into it. All right, here we go.
So, found him passed out in the parking lot, just sitting here.
So he was in the drive-thru?
Yeah, he's on, car's on. Took me like a few minutes to wake him up. Kept knocking, opened the door, like shook him. Woke up super groggy. Got pretty good smell of alcoholic beverage coming out of the car. Eyes are watery, glassy. Slurred his words. Wasn't really sure where he was. And telling me he had one drink. He said earlier, standard size. Tried to say, I think just one drink, but I can smell alcohol on him still.
Okay, I'm gonna bump ahead. This guy is kind of like the contacting officer. He put the guy in the car. My only problem here is he told the guy to pull the car over here. And to hear him talk, it's like he knows the guy's drunk. Blurred eye, bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, smell of alcohol, guy was confused. He pretty much said he's drunk, yet he told him, pull your car from the drive-thru to here. If this guy would have took off, he could have killed somebody. Normally, when you know somebody's driving, you take the keys and you get them out of the car. I mean, there's no reason that a cop can't get in the car and move it. So I got a problem with this guy, but it really doesn't affect how this case terminated.
And he's trying to food. I mean,
so this was a 911 call, right?
Yeah, the drive-thru called it in.
So somebody called because he was in the drive-thru.
He just passed out in the car.
Passed out in the drive-thru.
Yep.
Okay.
On.
Sure.
Hey.
Mr. Brooks?
How you doing?
Hey, I'm Officer Rolfe of the Atlanta Police Department.
Okay, this guy seems like a really good guy. Now, I know I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and you people will be like, that's bullshit, Rick. He was black. You'd have shot him too. Look, I'm telling you, if I was working and this dude was in this parking lot, as nice as he was, and he lied, and yeah, he was a little drunk, you know what? I wouldn't have arrested him. But that was back in the day when we could give you a ride home or tell you to park your car or tell you to call somebody, and there wasn't video cameras that they would try to screw us with. Nowadays, we have made policing into a mandatory harassment, mandatory law enforcement, mandatory fines. We got to charge every crime and treat everybody as if they're guilty in order to support the criminal justice system so we can get more DAs, more judges, more courtrooms, more cops, more probation officers. We've turned it into a freaking, mafia business, and they couldn't do it. I'm telling you, this guy's a nice guy. I would have let him go. There's no way I would have arrested this dude, but I know you're going to say that's not true, but I'm telling you, man, this guy would not have gone to jail if I was a cop. Back in the day. Now, with videotapes and cameras and policy and you must take and mothers against drunk driving, thinking everybody that's freaking even smells alcohol should be in prison for the rest of their life, especially if you're a man. It's just crazy now how they've turned drunk driving into mass murder. you know. But anyway, I digress. Here we go.
How you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
All right, so tell me, I wasn't here, so can you tell me what happened before we got here?
Nothing happened. I just got here and was getting something to eat.
Where were you coming from?
Well, my friend dropped me off here, and she brought me here to get something to eat, and
Your friend dropped you off where?
here,
At Wendy's.
yes,
Okay. So
from the home lodge.
so where's your friend now?
She's at the hotel.
What hotel?
Right here at the home lodge.
Where's that? What's the address to it?
I'm not sure. I know she's here at the home lodge.
All right.
Okay, how many people stay at a hotel and know the address? This cop that's questioning him, look, I think he does a good job. I think he's pretty polite. There's no way in hell that this cop is like, you're a black dude and I want to shoot you by the end of this. How can I make this happen? That just didn't happen. That's just total BS. And that's why this camera is so good. Because this cop treats this guy very decent. Everything's fine until they go to put the cuffs on. And I've said 1,000 times in 1,000 videos, the most dangerous time for a cop is when you pull the cuffs out, because the suspect knows, I'm going to jail and this is my last chance to possibly get away. And that's when most of the fights and assaults happen. That's exactly when it happens here. You would never expect it. This guy has been the epitome of a great, nice, friendly, cooperative guy during this whole time. Yeah, he's under the influence. Yeah, he screws up on his answers. Yeah, he doesn't know where he's at. He thinks he's in another town. He lies. He says he had a margarita. Then he says he had a daiquiri. Then he said he had one. Then he said he had a couple. Then he had 1.5. So, look, the guy's lying. He's drunk. He doesn't want to go to jail. He doesn't want to have his whole life screwed over by freaking a drunk driving laws that's going to fine him $5,000, tow his car. He won't be able to have a job. Probably lose his girlfriend. Probably lose his home. All because Mothers Against Drunk Driving thinks it's a great idea to ruin people's lives because they have a drink and drive. So, don't get me started on that. I know I'm going to have all the drunk driving people. Rick, you never had a family. You never killed everybody that drank that. Yeah, okay. Well, I think you're freaking way far extreme. I've worked. I've seen. Yeah, there's some really drunk drivers that are multiple offenders and they can kill people. But for the majority of the people arrested for drunk driving, it's bullshit. They're a little impaired. They were driving fine. They didn't get in an accident and they didn't hurt anybody. And the cops are like doing their checks and they're getting their DUI and they're justifying their DUI task force and they're getting their stats and they're getting highway money and they're getting ticket money and they're getting, you know, well, whatever. It's like everything government does. It starts out as a good idea and then it turns into an oppressive, maniac, out of control bureaucracy that does nothing but want to grow and support itself. But I digress. Here we go.
So how did she drop you off here?
She drove here and dropped me off.
In what car?
And a black Volvo,
Okay.
actually.
So how did this car get here?
I mean, it was here before I came. Like, this is my car. It's a rental car. My sister.
Okay, right there. As soon as he said that, I've been doing this a long time. It's a rental car. It's my sister's. That usually means I couldn't get a rental car. My sister rented it for me on her credit card, and that's how I got the rental car. Now, that's normally what that means. I don't know if that's the case. But, and also when he said he's in a hotel, and the cop was like, I don't know where that hotel's at. Most cops knows where the hotels are in their city. The problem is this guy thinks he's in a different city. He doesn't think he's in Atlanta. So the hotel he mentioned is in a different city, and that's why the cop didn't know.
But, I mean, like I told her, I came here, I met her here.
Okay.
From the beginning, and she picked me up. And, I mean, we went out.
So you met her here at the Wendy's?
Yes.
And then you went out with her?
Yes.
And then she came and dropped
back
you off?
Here.
Okay.
And, you know, I mean, like I told her, I'm going to say, hey, babe, you know, I just want a burger or I want fries. She said, hey, no problem. I'll take you there.
All right.
You get your fries and you come back to the hotel.
Okay.
No
So
problem.
the reason why we're here...
Now that really doesn't make sense. If he was with a girl and it was cool and they're staying in a hotel together and she dropped him off to get food, if she's going to drive him there, why didn't they get the food together? Why didn't they bring it back? Why did she just drop him off his car? So that story doesn't hold weight. Look, the guy's under the influence and he shouldn't be driving. I get it. But right now he was in a drive-thru. He's not driving. The car's parked. How is it other than to support government and get arrested and harass the shit out of people? how does it help putting this guy and finding him and making him lose his license and he can't get a job? And how does that help anybody other than government? Rick, you don't understand. He could have got that car and he would have drove up and killed somebody if it was your family. But all right, whatever.
Is because somebody called 911 because you were asleep behind the wheel while you were in the drive-thru, right? You recall that?
I don't.
You don't recall that? You don't recall just minutes ago where you were passed out behind the wheel in the drive-thru? You don't recall that at all?
Absolutely.
Just complete blur.
I wasn't driving. Like I said, I just drank. My girlfriend, she probably was sleeping, but like I said, babe, I want French fries.
Okay, his story is convoluted, and it gets worse. I mean, look, there's no doubt the guy doesn't know facts. He's confused. He's under the influence. Again, if you want to watch this whole thing, it is nothing but, I'm going to bump forward, but it's nothing but politeness and him hanging himself. The problem I got with this cop is this cop almost gets way past an investigation. He's asking criminal questions that incriminate this guy, and I think from a defense position, had he gone to court and lived. And what's funny is all these three guys are just doing their jobs or doing things. They're not hurting anybody. And by the end of this, he's dead, and two cops' careers are ruined, and a cop gets fired, and his whole life's over. And this is all over because he was drinking, and we got to protect the public and save you pesky citizens from yourselves. So I'm going to bump through this, but believe me, these cops are nothing but polite, and the guy is nothing but polite during this whole encounter.
So far as I'm aware, you're the only person that's been seen in this vehicle, right? Car get into the drive-thru line with you behind the wheel. Car.
In the black Volvo. She said,
all right.
Get out.
Hold on. So after she drops you off here, okay.
I never moved.
So how did it get there?
It never did get there. I told you I was in her car.
Well, we've got a 911 call of people reporting a guy passed out behind the wheel in the line. This officer gets here and sees you. Everything's on camera. Sees you in the line.
Here in the line.
In the line.
I wasn't in the line. Did I pull you over in the line?
Did I pull you over? See, his thought process is just really, I mean, I don't even think they need to do field sobriety tests on this. Just my contact with him is enough for me to go, you know what, dude, why don't you just blow in the pass and I'm going to take you in. You were passed out in the wheel. But this cop goes so much and prolongs his stop so long, I think it's way past investigatory questions, and it gets into incriminating, and he's actually got this guy in custody trying to get him to make incriminating statements that helps his case.
Well, you walked up, you had to wake up, man.
You didn't pull him
right
over.
Here?
No, it was here. I had to wake you up.
Well, look.
Then you went back to sleep, and I had to wake you up again.
Like I said, I'm sorry if I...
This guy is really a nice guy. I mean, it's kind of sad that he's dead now. And he probably shouldn't be. But legally, the cop was authorized to shoot him, and he's not going to get charged. This is one time where the cop is authorized. Now, morally, I think the cop shouldn't have shot him. I'm not going to shoot somebody because they get my baton. I'm going to grab their ass and take the baton away and beat the shit out of them. But that's just me. That's how cops used to be. Nowadays, it's like, no, don't do that. Don't get involved in physical. If they get your baton, you can shoot them. Just shoot them. It's easier. It's justified. And then you don't get hit in the head and there's no risk. And then we don't lose you. And, you know, because government wants to protect government. And they don't want cops getting hurt. And when cops are shooting people, they're less likely to get hurt than if they're fighting with them. So we don't want cops to fight. That mean testosterone that you males have. That's why we got to hire people that don't know what bathroom to use. And we got to hire all these women because we don't want cops fighting. We want the friendlier cops. And that way you can just shoot everybody if they get out of hand.
Your Honor, I just got something to eat. I went to visit my mother's gravesite. I'm not causing any problems.
I thought he went drinking and he was at the hotel with a girl. How did he get to his... Rick, why are you picking on him? You're just picking... Well, I'm just picking on him because the guy's a nice guy.
Well, we got to make sure that you're safe to operate a vehicle. Now, do you know where you are?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where
I'm
are
in
you?
Forest Park, Old Dixie Highway.
Old Dixie Highway in
The
Forest Park?
Home Lodge is there, right here.
That's a different city than Atlanta, by the way. But go ahead.
Subway.
A subway, okay.
So it's a subway right here. I'm cool. Like I said, I could.
So you think that you're in Forest Park right now?
I'm on Old Dixie Highway, Clayton County.
Right. No, you're not.
Well, Farsport, Georgia.
Nope.
Jonesboro, Georgia.
Nope. Can try again?
I have to. I mean, like I said, I'm on Old Dixie Highway.
Nope.
I'm not on Old Dixie Highway.
Nope. Quite a ways away from it.
Huh? This is a bridge is here.
Nope, no bridge.
No, I'm saying Old Dixie Highway.
You're not near Old Dixie Highway.
I'm not.
You're
on,
not even in Clayton County.
Where am I?
You're in Atlanta.
Yes. Old Dixie Highway.
Old Dixie Highway is not
Yeah,
in Atlanta.
It's Forest Park, Georgia, right?
Right, this isn't Forest Park. This is Atlanta.
I mean,
Anyway, how much have you had to drink today?
I drank early.
Okay, how much have you had to drink?
That's when I had, one drink.
You're not being honest with me. How much did you have to
I
drink?
had one drink.
Be honest with me.
I
Over
had-
the course of the entire evening, from the time you...
A margarita.
How big was the margarita?
It was just a small cup.
A small cup.
Yes,
All
sir.
Have you taken any medication today?
No, sir.
Any drugs of any kind?
No,
Marijuana, cocaine, nothing like that?
No, sir.
Do you have any medical conditions, physical defect? Hold on, let me finish. Do you have any operate a vehicle safely?
I'm okay.
Nothing whatsoever.
No, sir.
No issues I need to know about.
No, sir.
In your car. Weapons on you or anything like that?
I don't have anything on me.
Is it okay if I pat you down? Just make sure.
I have just money, gas, and that was it.
Is it okay if I pat you down to make sure you don't have any weapons?
Absolutely.
All right, can you just
It's
turn around,
fine.
face away from me real quick?
Everybody's polite. Everybody's doing fine. I got no problem with this contact. So I'm going to skip past all the tests that he fails, and we'll get it down to meat and potatoes where the fight starts.
Bunch of money. Why do you Okay. You mind just...
I just bought them.
Can you walk in it okay?
I mean,
You don't have to show me. I'm just asking. Are you comfortable walking in the shoes?
they are comfortable, but
I'd just like to do some field sobriety tests, and if you'd like...
Cop was totally professional. This guy was totally compliant. No hint of violence whatsoever.
Like, if you'd prefer, you can keep them on.
in this vehicle
Yeah, you have. All
back to my hotel.
right, so we know you're sobriety test for.
Do, sir.
Well, all that, it's just yes or no.
Hey.
Can you walk in the shoes while
Yes,
following?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
See the tip of my finger?
Yes.
This cop does the longest horizontal gaze my stagmus test I've ever seen.
Don't start anything until I tell you to. You foot until I tell you to. 2. Understand the feet foot planted. Walking until you completed the test. You understand?
Start with my
You're going to start in that starting position with your right foot heel to
the drive.
Right. Well, that was the previous question. We answered that question. My next question was, what led to you falling asleep behind the wheel? Why did you fall asleep behind the wheel?
I fell asleep because I can't blame nothing on her. It was my decision. I said,
This guy's like, again, this guy seems like a really nice guy. I ain't blaming nothing on her, you know. So, I mean, it's just sad that everybody is looking to hang somebody. And you hear the crowd, they're like, white cops killing a black dude, this bullshit. The guy didn't do anything. Well, he did do something.
hey, if she can't get her order together, I should park right here. Right.
That you had too much. That you had too much to.
1.5 margaritas, Mr. Ross.
1.5 margaritas.
Yes, sir.
Margaritas.
Yes.
Have you had anything else today? Any other type of drink?
No, sir.
You haven't had any daiquiris?
I haven't had no daiquiri.
The reason why he asked him daiquiri is earlier, the guy changed his story and said how much he had to drink. I had one daiquiri, and now it's a margarita. So, look, this ain't the point. Let's get to the fight.
Fine. Locked the yesterday.
All right. Hold on, Mr. Brooks. Will you take a preliminary breath test for me? It's yes or no.
I don't want to refuse anything.
It's yes or no. It's completely up to you.
Yes, I will.
Okay, just wait here while I grab it.
It was my daughter's birthday intent to, have a good time. And I said, babe, I'm hungry. Let's go. My baby's mom, she was there. I said, babe, go ahead. I'm cool. Here's the money for the blow up.
How can they say that these cops wanted to shoot this guy. It's just crazy.
Bed tomorrow. Here's the money for or something.
You don't remember violence. Put your hands behind your back for me.
Okay, it gets kind of busy here. You see him kind of getting his cuffs. They both go in. The reason why two cops do this, again, this is where people resist. This is where they fight. This is when shit hits the fan.
Put your hands behind your back.
And this guy fights pretty good. And this is why, people are always cracking on cops, man. Why do you treat everybody like they're a criminal? Because you got to be ready. You got to be like a midget at a urinal and always on your toes, because when shit hits a fan, if you're sitting there flat-footed, you're going to get screwed. So these guys knew that even though he was cooperative, we better get a hold of him, because when we put the cuffs on him, this is when it's likely to go bad. And it did. Like it does, I'd say 50-60% of the time.
Hey, stop fighting! Stop fighting! Stop fighting! Stop fighting! You're gonna get tased! You're gonna get tased! Stop!
Mr. Ross, stop, come on, man.
Okay, so he's going back and forth. This is civilian footage. This is, I think, another angle. The body cams get knocked down, so they're kind of useless. So watch the other two footages instead of the body cam. You can tell this guy is tossing these two cops around pretty good.
Stop! You're gonna get tased!
Mr. Ross,
Turn off the fucking taser!
He grabs a taser here. Now look, here's my problem when you're fighting with drunks. We've already determined that he's not thinking clearly and that he shouldn't be driving. So what are the odds that he will do something stupid and not think? It's high. Drunks do stupid things, and they don't think about the consequences. This guy did not grab this taser with the intent of killing these cops and tasing them and taking their gun. His previous actions indicate that by no way, shape, or form. However, by law, when you grab an officer's taser or baton, deadly force is authorized. Or his gun, deadly force is authorized because you're trying to disarm him. So if the cop wanted to shoot him right here, he could have let go of the taser, drew his gun, and shot him right here. He took his taser. These cops did not want to shoot this guy.
Hands off the taser! Stop fighting! Hands off the taser!
You watch here, he's tossing them around pretty good, and he gets on top, and both the cops are on the ground. Pussy ass guy. No, look, I've been on the ground a couple times. I get it. Shit happens.
Damn! Stop fighting!
So he's on top, both officers on the ground lower. And he's got the taser in his hand. Right here, very clearly, he has the taser in his hand, and this officer tases him with a taser. If the officer wanted to shoot him, he could have drawn his gun right here and shot him. He's got a taser. It's pointed at the officer. The other officer's on the ground. Deadly force was authorized again at this point. Guy's running away. Officer could have shot him here with the taser. He committed armed robbery or strong arm robbery. He fought. He stole their property, their taser. He's running away with a weapon that could be used on the officers. Right here, the cop could have shot him again. Deadly force authorized. Guy turns and fires the taser. This is a lifelong, critical, permanent mistake that he made. When he fired that taser, he was justifying deadly force for the fourth time. These officers had, I think, used restraint and not shooting him. I still think he could have hit by the car when he fired the taser. Now, the new tasers, I'm told, you can fire 3 times. Some of the new tasers. That's going to be a little critical, because if the officers knew that he had 3 tasers, the defense can't say, hey, he fired the taser. Once he fired it and you weren't hit, how is he a threat to you anymore? The taser's non-usable unless he puts it on you. Why couldn't you just follow him? Why couldn't you wait? There's all going to be these if, and, buts, and coconuts. The fact of the matter is, Supreme Court has ruled when deadly force is authorized, there is no reason to use lower force. All right? This guy made a critical error when he aimed that at the cop and fired. The cop drops down behind cover, which indicates his fear, and he goes for his gun and he shoots the guy.
Oh!
He was off balance when he shot.
63.
He ran into the car, was off balance, and shot on a run. I mean, most cops can't hit freaking people when they fire 22 rounds and the guy's standing still. This guy was moving, the cop was bouncing off a car, drew after he dropped his taser and fired 3 rounds and ended up killing the guy. In the interview, if you watch this whole hour-long video where it shows this complete body cam, this cop asked, "How is Mr. Brooks?" At least 4 times, if not 5 or 6 times. He's concerned. He wants Mr. Brooks not to die. He's hoping he just wounded him. But he's dead. And when you fire bullets, you can't pull them back, and it doesn't matter. I mean, this is a sad situation. I don't think this guy should have died. He made some critical errors all over a freaking alcohol and DUI arrest. People are going to say, white cop shot a black cop because he fell asleep in a drive-thru. That'll be CNN's headline. And I think the cops did a pretty decent job here. Me personally, I wouldn't have shot him. Do I think 90% of the cops would have fired? Absolutely. Do I know that 100% of the cops would say deadly force was authorized and this was a good shoot? Absolutely. This guy is not going to be charged. If they even think of charging him, there is no way any jury is ever going to see this case or convict him. I can guarantee it. I don't care how many cities they burn down, and I don't care how many cops they hang up or whatever they do. It ain't going to happen. This was a justified shoot. If you want to watch the whole case, like I said, this guy did a good job putting this video together. You hear the black people in the crowd who were being what I consider racist, automatic blaming color, blaming cops because they were born white. Had these cops been born black, this wouldn't have happened. You believe that? In this video, if you watch, there's a bunch of black cops that come up to these guys, ask them if they're okay, tap them. There's no colors in the police department because they all know it's a shitty job and nobody wants to do what sometimes happens. Are there cops out there that are just itching to shoot somebody? Yeah. Do I think this is the case where this cop was itching to shoot somebody? Not no, but hell no. I don't buy it. But I did the video before the body cam came out, so I figured I'd do a part 2 and clear up some of the things that they transport him to the PD and they finally turn off the video camera. But if you want to watch the whole thing, you got questions, when you watch the whole thing, put them in the comments and I'll try to answer the questions. If there's enough good questions to where I think I'll do another video, I'll do part 3. Otherwise, we'll end that there on fatal shooting of Rayshard Brooks. Was deadly force authorized? Absolutely, 100%. No ifs, ands, buts, or coconuts. Did Mr. Brooks need to die? Probably no. Probably hell no. But that's the state of affairs we're in. Cops shoot way too damn quick and easy, and it's justified too many times. However, I don't think this cop is the poster child for making a case that cops should go to jail for bad shootings, because this was a good shoot in my book. Good, not meaning he should have died. Good, meaning justified by the law. All right, we'll end that there.